The slave's lie. Long back when slavery was in practice, a wealthy merchant went to the city of Cairo. There he saw a market of slaves. He thought of buying a slave. As he explored the market to get a good slave, he saw a strong slave. He thought that it would be better to buy a strong slave. Therefore, he approached the owner of the slave and asked him the price. The owner said that he would charge only 200 gold coins, as the slave had a tendency to tell one lie in a year. The merchant thought that the slave was being sold at a very low price. If he spoke one lie in a year, it won't be harmful. He decided to buy the slave. A few days later, he returned to his hometown with the slave whose name was Ben. Ben worked hard and soon everybody praised him. He became the favorite of the whole household. Things went on smoothly for some months, and then one day he spoke a terrible lie. It so happened that the merchant had gone on a picnic along with his friends. Ben also went with them. He carried the fruit baskets for them. The friends ate and drank, and soon their eatable were over. So, they sent Ben to bring some more fruits and cookies from the market. Suddenly, he felt the urge of telling a lie. It had been a year since he had told a lie. He started crying loudly. Between his sobs, he said, "Alas! My master is dead. He went on a picnic. The tree under which he was sitting crashed upon him, and he died." Many people in the market knew Ben. So they accompanied him to the merchant's house. He repeated his lie to the merchant's wife. She started wailing loudly. The children also came out. When they heard, all started wailing and crying. The neighbors also gathered outside the house. Now, in those days, it was customary to show one's grief by tearing clothes and breaking household things. The merchant's wife started tearing her clothes. The other servants and the children started breaking household things. At the same time, they kept on crying loudly. Within a short time, many costly items were broken. Fine chinaware, flower vases, crystals, pots, furniture, etc. were all broken down. Finally, they decided to get the dead body of the merchant. Meanwhile, Ben had slipped from there and arrived at the picnic spot. He was still wailing loudly. His master asked him, "What is the matter with you? Why are you wailing so loudly? Where are the fruits and cookies that we had ordered?" Ben started crying even louder and said, "Oh, master, a great calamity has befallen us. My mistress and the children have died." The merchant grew angry and said, "What nuisance are you talking about? How can my wife and children all die at once?" Ben replied, "When I reached your house, I saw that a side of your house had crumbled down. The mistress and the children were sitting in the garden. The wall fell on them and they died." Hearing this, the merchant started crying. He began to tear his clothes and pull his hair. His friends tried to console him and suggested that they go back home at once. The merchant started to walk towards home with a heavy heart. In the meantime, his wife and children, accompanied by neighbors, friends, relations, and servants, were coming towards the picnic spot in order to collect the merchant's dead body. They met the merchant and his friends on the way and were surprised to see him hale and hearty. The children ran to him and said, "Father, are you all right? Ben told us that something terrible has happened to you." The merchant was greatly relieved to see me that the house wall had crumbled and you all are buried under it. Ben was all this while standing behind. The merchant called him and said, "Why did you behave in such a way? Why did you tell such big lies? You heartless fellow, how could you cause so much of unhappiness to all of us? I am going to trash you for this." Ben said, "Master, you know very well that I have a bad habit of telling one lie a year. Because of this fault in me, my owner charged only 200 gold coins for me, and you got that it was a good bargain. I have served you well all these months. Today, I felt the urge to tell a lie, and so I told a lie. Please excuse me if I have hurt you that badly." Hearing him speak thus, the merchant's anger grew even more. However, his friends and relations said that the slave was right and he should not be punished. The merchant thought that he would excuse him. But when he reached home and saw the damages done to the house and his belongings, his anger was flared again, and he drove Ben out of his house. He told him that he was free to go wherever he wanted, only that he should not stay in that city. The slave was now a free man. He could go wherever he wanted, but he had nowhere to go and no work to do. Thus he lived the rest of his life as a tramp.